Now, Brent Thill, senior tech analyst with Jefferies. Brent, I guess first ever quarter, not a hugely populated consensus to compare the numbers to. On the surface, they don't look too bad.
No, not at all. They beat the top line, modest raise going forward. And I think the biggest concern was really just the 40 to 50% move in the last 2 weeks. You had a pretty sharp rise in the stock, given the change out on the government potential. And I think there was some concern, would this hold up in a Biden administration? So there was a little bit of a hangover on the government side, but they posted their largest commercial win ever, $300 million transaction. Average customer size is going up. And again, the guidance for 1 quarter out looks good. I think the biggest challenge for investors on this stock is really just the lack of disclosure, and we didn't get a lot of color about how next year's shaping up. But overall, good results, just a big move into the print. 300
million aerospace contract, as you mentioned. I guess there's not many companies that could be. Maybe we'll learn a bit more about that on the call. So clearly that's good news and a big win for them. Do you welcome more single big contracts, or actually want there in time to be a sort of many more individual clients with less kind of concentration risk, as it were?
I think it's a good point. I think what investors want to see them is broaden their wings and go from landing elephants to landing antelopes. And so can Palantir broaden out from winning these large mega contracts at 300 million? And again, I think we go back to the big argument from investors. They just like to see that broaden. They today have over 125 customers, and they claim no one else has what they have. And ultimately, the goal is to get to thousands of companies, thousands of government entities, where you can broaden the reach and not be dependent on landing these big contract wins.
It does seem like they're making progress, Brent, on that front when it comes to diversification, which Wall Street wants to see. Greater diversification in revenue base. Top 20 customers, they say, represent 61% of total revenue through the first 9 months of 2020. Last year, that was about 68%. So it does appear to be moving in the right direction. Have they convinced the street?
Not yet. I mean, this is the first quarter out of the gate. I think it's going to take time. We ultimately believe that they can broaden that reach. But again, the primary focus of this company, and they've said this, is we provide software that no one else can provide. We solve the world's most complex problems. And the bear scenario right now is that not every government or commercial company needs this level of commitment or size of contract. Can you achieve this mission with other software companies that we cover? And so I think they will have to prove that they can solve this over time. We think they can. It's not going to happen overnight. Mm-hmm. And clearly, when you have a $300 million aerospace company signing up for a 5-year renewal, those are elephant deals.
Explain, Brent, the post-election move higher for this stock, and what the makeup of the administration, blue or red, and the Senate, blue or red, ultimately means for spending at Palantir.
I think the stock went up based on the shorts were basically riding a Biden administration would be negative given the Peter Thiel Trump connection. That came unraveled. The long onlys came in, and the shorts covered, and you saw a big rise in the stock. Is simply what we think happened from our perspective on our desk. What we think going forward is it doesn't matter who is running the country. This software is helping track terrorists. It's helping companies figure out and optimizing, where lost revenue is, where hidden expenses are that they can eliminate. And so we don't believe that it's really going to have any kind of impact as it relates to who's running the country. The government will continue to buy packaged software and not build solutions. And we think Palantir sits very nicely in that mix. So we don't believe the government change out, if it happens, that will have really any dramatic impact. The country still needs Palantir to help protect, help do COVID tracing, and a number of advanced features that they can do with their software.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.